Greetings gastronauts, this is KeefCooks, I'm Keef, and today I'm going to show you how to make prawn crackers, and I've still got a cold, sorry about that. So this was requested by Sadia Makija and seconded by Christina Matson. So I hope you enjoy it, guys. And also a birthday shout out for Joanna, possibly Hines, requested by your sister Rachel Hines and your brother Daniel Hines. So have a great birthday, and why not celebrate with some homemade prawn crackers? So prawn crackers, I don't know about where you live, but if I ever go to a Chinese takeaway, admittedly it's quite rare for that to happen, you get given a bag of prawn crackers, and whether you want them or not, and you eat them because they're there. But you know, they're rubbish. They never ever tasted prawns. I don't know how they can get away with calling them prawn crackers, because yeah, no, they're just fluff. So anyway, I'm going to make some with actual prawns in them, so they should be quite prawny. Let's do it. Oh, for Americans, prawns equals shrimps, and prawn crackers equals shrimp chips. And also in Thailand, these are called Krupuk. Other spellings are available. Ingredients for the prawn crackers: I've got about 100 grams of prawns, 100 grams of tapioca flour, a pinch of salt, and a splash of fish sauce on my hand. Now the prawns, these are frozen ones that I've defrosted. You can use fresh ones, obviously. You'll need to get rid of the heads and tails, peel them and devein them. Tapioca flour, I really don't think there's a substitute for. I've tried cassava flour. They both come from the same plant, the cassava plant, but tapioca has special properties that make the crackers puff up. And the fish sauce, a lot of Thai recipes especially use MSG, monosodium glutamate, which you know, I'm not afraid of, and I do use it sometimes, but this does the same job. It's providing a punch of umami. Yum. Anyway, first thing to do is puree the prawns. Okay, so I'm using my stick blender, so I'll just pop the prawns in the jug, and just well, about a half teaspoon of salt, and maybe half teaspoon of fish sauce, because that is quite powerful stuff. So we just whiz these, and we want this as smooth as we can get it. So there's my mashed prawns, and now I'll add the flour. Poof! And just stir that well till it's all incorporated. Now I may have to add some water, but I really don't want to, because this is my second attempt, and I'll show you what happened yesterday when I did use too much water. It was pretty exciting, but you know, a total fail. Right, wasn't that fun? So here we are now. This really isn't going to hold together, so I'm going to have to add a bit of water, and I'm really worried about this because you saw the way that tapioca flour behaves when it gets hydrated. It's like chia seeds. It forms this kind of glutinous gel. Okay, there's my dough. So that took 10 or 11 teaspoons of water. So I'm going to wrap it in plastic film and form it into a sausage. I don't know, ever since that YouTube demonetization garbage started happening, everything I do is sausage related. So you can make it as thin or as thick as you want, but you know, obviously the thickness, because we end up slicing it, so the thickness of the sausage will determine the size, the ultimate size of your prawn crackers, and also how long it takes to steam it. So I'm going to pop that in the fridge for about 10 minutes just to firm up, and then sort out my steaming device. Okay, this is my improvised steamer, big pot with a couple of inches of water in it, and a colander that fits exactly, and a lid that fits snugly on top. So that whole lot goes on the stove. So here's my sausage. I'm just going to pop it on that strip of aluminium foil so that it won't stick to the colander. It'll stick to the foil, but that'll be easier to get off. Okay, so let's pop that in there, pop the lid on, put it on the stove, and I'll give that about an hour. That should be enough for that size of sausage. Okay, it's had, well, about an hour and a quarter actually. So let's have a look at my sausage. Yeah. And it's, ooh, it's a very strange looking glutinous thing. Oh, that's, yeah. Right. I don't exactly know what to do with that. I think I'll peel that off the foil and I'll stick it in the fridge to cool down, and then I can see what may be done. So this kind of happened yesterday as well, and I'm really at a loss because, you know, I've looked at lots and lots of recipes and videos online, and this doesn't happen to anybody else, or if it does, they don't tell you about it. Okay, I'll put that in the fridge and see what happens. Okay, here's my sausage. Oh, it's so sticky. I've tried rinsing the stickiness off, but it's not happening. So I think if nothing else, I've invented a way of making a really, really sticky glue. However, that's not what I want. I want prawn crackers. So I think I'm going to just coat it in flour, just to make it a little bit less sticky, and wrap it in foil. And I'll stick this in the freezer for about half an hour. I don't want it frozen solid, but I need it cool enough, cold enough to slice really thinly. Here's my sausage, chilled but not frozen, and now I need to slice it as thinly as I can. It's like jelly, which is not the easiest thing in the world to slice. I'm gonna have to chill that for a bit longer. When you do manage to get some very, very thin slices, just put them on a tray, and they need to dry out completely. If you have a dehydrator, that's a wonderful thing, that'll do the job. I don't, so I'll probably put them in a very low oven for a bit and leave them in there, and turn the oven on and off now and again until we get dry and crispy and brittle slices. Traditionally, you would leave it out in the sun covered for a few days, but we're not doing sun this week. Or this month. Okay, I've got some dry, crispy crackers. They should snap just like that. Now, last thing to do is the magic bit, is to fry them. So you need some oil in a frying pan or a wok, and you need it heated to 190 degrees Celsius. Okay, that's just over 170, so I'm just going to throw a bit in and see what happens. Actually, that'll do. So just pop them in a few at a time, and they sink to the bottom and then they rise to the top. And when they're all sort of blossomed out, just scoop them out and drain them on paper. Magic. And try not to get any colour on them like I just did with these. Okay, taste test time. So let's grab a cracker. Let's crack a cracker. Yeah. Listen to that crunch. Yep, there's definitely some prawn in there, but there's not enough salt. However, I have some emergency soy sauce standing by. Yeah, baby! Those are great. So, a bit of a palaver to make them. I don't think I'll be doing that very often. But once in a while, make a ton, and yeah, they'll last you days. Prawn crackers.
And that's that. I hope you enjoyed it. Now please do the usual: likes, shares, comments, subscriptions, donations, patronage, all that good stuff. Or just some of it. And thank you for watching, and see you next time.